Welcome back. It's week 8 of Pantry Challenge, and I am actually cooking this week, so I am very excited about that. I did a little bit of cooking this weekend, and I need to show you what all we've cooked, and we need to make a meal plan. I think I'm going to do that for this week because it's been so long since I've really cooked that I don't know what I'm making. So let's start off by showing you what I cooked. I didn't film it, but I was just in the mood to cook, and you know how sometimes you just really enjoy cooking? That's what happened. So there's only a little tiny bit left, but I made a stir fry for the first time in probably a year, and stir fry is one of our favorites. What I used was some beef just sliced really thinly, and then I threw in, some water chestnuts, some peas, and some canned carrots, and then I just added a whole slew of sauces. So I just looked in here and I was like, all right, we got cocoa aminos, let's do it. We got hoisin sauce, and I just went through like that. I think I did rice vinegar also, maybe a little bit of oyster sauce, and no, I didn't. I did a little bit of fish sauce because the oyster sauce was old. So I realized, though, in my pantry, I had a new oyster sauce, and its best by date was a few years ago. So I'm gonna want to be using this pretty quickly, and that makes me think maybe I should be checking my pantry for all the things like this, because if that was that old, what else is that old that I didn't look at? And then I did make one of those rice containers that we made, the like pre-mixed rices to go with it. I think it might have been better with regular rice, but that's okay. And then I also took out just some of these pork bites. These are the pork air fryer bites from the freezer, and we're going to have that probably today. So this is the section where I got these from, and so these are the, if you haven't seen this video, the rice. Definitely want to go check that out. But here's where now I'm a little bit worried, like how old is all this stuff in here? This fish sauce, like what's the date on it? Does it even have one on there? Oh, there we go. See, okay, so this is what my other fish sauce said, and what I can't tell, it says 260221. So does that mean February 21st of 26 or February 26th of 21? When did I buy these? I'm not sure what that means. But I think we might be pretty good other than that. I still want to make barbecue sauce. I'm not sure exactly when we're gonna do that, but I want to do that. So I think what we need to do is meal plan, and I need to take a look at my list of things that I want to use up and figure out what I want to do for a meal plan. So we've got these baked beans, so I think this has got to be on the list, right? Because we really want to. So let's go sit down at the computer and think through our meal plan. Okay, we're over at the computer now. I have up my Google Tasks, which is where I'm keeping my list for my pantry challenge of what I want to use up. I also just opened up the sticky notes feature. I'm going to make this list pretty loose. I don't necessarily do Monday we eat this, Tuesday we eat this. I'm going to just pick like 3 or 4 different things for us to make throughout the week, and that'll be dinner for the week. And I'm going to pick as we go through the week which one I want to make when. Sorry for the cats fighting behind me. So let's take a look at this list and see what we need to use up and see where we go from here. This is, of course, how I always meal plan. I don't always have a pantry challenge list, but I do always look at what I have in the house or in the freezer and what I need to use up, and then I build from there. I try to not grocery shop when I'm meal planning if I can. And sometimes I need to, because of course we do need to restock on things, but let's see what we can do. All right, if you're new here, what I'm doing is I have everything listed by where they're at, and then I've got a star if I've started to use them up. So we did use some chickpeas. We need to use those baked beans. So that's something that I should put on my list. And here's the sticky note. We're gonna make those pork bites tonight, and so I wanna make sure that I have those and need to figure out what to eat them with. Let me put baked beans on here. Okay, so we need to use the baked beans, so we'll probably do that this week. We have more sweet potatoes to use. We need to use that chili sauce. And then, let's see, we could use zucchini pineapple. We could use Thai red curry paste, pastas, barley, canned tunas, dehydrated peppers, flaxseed. Okay, some of these don't make sense for cooking dinner, so we're going to skip down. Let's see, sweet potato gnocchi in the garage. We could do that again, that sweet potato gnocchi meal that I made. That was so good. I think that'd be a good idea. We could use up quite a bit of things. Biscuits and gravy casserole, that's all breakfast. And then down here, let's see, pork chops, squash, diced chicken. Okay, so after reading through this list, I think I want to use that, oh, what was that called? Let's scroll up and see. The sweet chili sauce. And I saw a recipe online that was chicken, sweet chili sauce, and cream cheese. Whoops. I think that would be good. And then what would we eat that with? Let me look. So bring up Pinterest. Pinterest is where I get like all my recipes from. So a lot of times what I'll do instead of writing out my meal plan is I'll just throw things in my this week folder in my recipes, but it's a little bit messy. I have some ideas coming up, like making cereal or something. So there's a lot of stuff in here. So it's not really working for me for being my actual meal plan. But here's this sweet chili. So I wonder what they cook this with. Serve with rice, topped with green onions and a green veggie. Okay, so that's just gonna be regular old rice. So make my sticky note bigger with rice and green veggies. So then back over here, I did see we still have pork chops on this list. We really need to use those up. So I think up here I'm gonna do pork chops and baked beans and let's see, what kind of a veggie? I think it can just be whatever. And let's just put veggies. We'll decide that later. I don't think that's too important. The opened veggies are here. So maybe we'll do whatever is opened veggies. And then we need to use up some squash and the red curry paste. So let's see, red curry paste. Well, let's see, red curry with squash over rice. So maybe I can make rice once and have enough for both of those. And that'll use these. Oh, the sweet potato gnocchi. Ooh. And let's also say the sweet potato gnocchi with sausage and butternut squash sauce. Okay. That's a lot. We're not going to make all of these this week, I don't think, because I don't necessarily cook every day. Although, who knows, maybe this week I will. So today we're having those pork bites. So I think we're going to do the pork bites and green beans. And do I want to do rice or do I want to do potatoes? We probably should do potatoes because the potatoes have been, gosh, we need to start using through some of those. Let's see, but would rice be better with it? I'm just going to put potatoes or rice and we can decide that later. So I think we're good there. Okay, now that we have our meal plan, let's get on to all this cooking. It is dinner time, so I want to get out the meat. I'm just going to use the air fryer. That's how I planned to do these. So what I'm going to do is get the air fryer preheating. Let's see, preheat. Oh, I didn't put the amount of time. I don't know how long these will take. We'll say 15 minutes. And then I did decide that today's the day, you guys. We're doing it. We're gonna have the baked beans today. I think that'll work out really well because I just made some barbecue sauce and there's a little bit in the fridge that didn't fit. And so, well, I mean, it did. It just wasn't a full jar. And so the problem with these baked beans is that they weren't flavorful enough. So I can put some barbecue sauce in them. And then I'm debating for the vegetable what I want to do. I also decided I didn't want to do potatoes today instead of beans because I don't have ketchup right now and I like to eat ketchup with my potatoes. So the question would be, do I want to do peas or something else? I think I'm going to do peas. Yeah, I think so. Just because this is like the last of the things that I need to use up for the most part. There's a couple little things, but I think let's do this. Nothing fancy, but here is dinner. It is lunchtime and I'm going to make this butternut squash and, oops, upside down, apple Gouda chicken sausage. Again with the sweet potato gnocchi, it's using up all of the things. What I'm doing differently though is I've already made the sauce so we don't have to boil the squash and do all of that. So I'm like, maybe I can do this just in one pot. So I'm planning on cooking the pasta first and then draining it and then putting everything in, and then we can kind of get like a saute on the pasta too. That is the thought. So hopefully that works out. And hopefully we get our water going too. And I've turned it on and it didn't have a flame. It just had the gas. So I had walked away for a second, came back, and it smelled like a ton of gas. So I need to get these sausages out of here and get them chopped up. I also grabbed some onions that are already diced and the last of the spinach from the freezer. I think I want to cut them a little smaller. And I think while I'm at it, I'm going to get the spinach here as well and just give it a little bit of a chop. It's frozen. Okay, and with that, everything is prepped. The water's boiling so we can get our gnocchi in. And I want to mix it around a little bit so it doesn't stick to the bottom. Now that just dropped our temperature a bunch because these are frozen. So I'm going to put the lid back on to help bring that temperature up. Now you know gnocchi are done when they start to float like these are. I'm going to give it just a few more minutes and let all of them come up to the top. And then I will drain them out and we will start cooking the meat, which is already cooked. We just want to get a nice brown on it. We're going to get the heat on again and we're going to get in a decent amount of oil and some onions. And then all of these chicken sausages. Whoa. Okay, these will take a little bit. I'm just going to saute them until they are nice and toasty brown. Hopefully they turn toasty brown. I probably should have done the sausage first and then added in this onion, but that's okay. We have a nice brown on quite a bit of these pieces now, and so that's looking just delicious. I'm going to give it a little bit of a mix. And then we need to add our gnocchi back in. Oh, they're stuck together. And I want to give these gnocchi a few seconds to get some color on them as well. Not too much though. Ooh, yeah. Look at that nice color. Let's get the spinach in. I'm going to turn the heat down and add our sauce. Turn the heat down even more. We're going to a low setting. So now I just want to get this spinach thawed out and mixed in and get everything fully heated, and then lunch is done. So much nicer when this can be a one-pot meal instead of a 7 million pot meal. Alrighty, there we have it. Lunch is served. Let me get some in a bowl. And there we have it. All right, let's make dinner. I am very tired today. I didn't sleep that well last night, so I'm going to make the Crockpot Chili Chicken. This was a Crockpot, not chili, but like sweet chili sauce. It was going to be with cream cheese. I don't have cream cheese, so we are going to leave that out. I'm going to get 2 bags of the 2023 zucchini in here, and hopefully that's not too much. Well, okay, I'm thinking maybe only 1. And some spices. We're going to add some pepper and some salt, and then some garlic powder and ginger. Whoops, I don't have any salt in there. And I probably should add onion powder too. I'm gonna do a decent amount because it called for garlic and onion, but I don't feel like sauteing an onion, and onions don't seem to cook all the way in here. At least that's my thoughts. Onion powder, salt. So this is using some of that 2023 chicken, 2023 zucchini, 2022 sweet chili sauce. So that's great. And then we're going to add in a little bit of rice vinegar. Probably good. And then some cocoa aminos. It called for soy sauce, but this is what I've got. And then we just let it go for a few hours. Super simple. I just shredded this chicken. It's looking fantastic. The edges got nicely colored. And now I'm just going to add in a cornstarch slurry to thicken it up a bit while the rice cooks, and then we will be ready for dinner. And here is dinner tonight.